Hey, welcome to the channel. If you've been here before, welcome back. If you were just clicking through YouTube and you happen to find this channel, let me tell you a little bit about myself and this channel. My name's Robert Simmons. The name of this channel is called Robert Simmons Paying It Forward. I'm a retired NYPD Highway Patrol motorcycle lieutenant. I did a marvelous 22-year career with the NYPD. 15 of those years were spent in the motorcycle unit. The purpose of this channel coincides with the title of this channel, Paying It Forward. My goal is to share with you my knowledge and experience that I attained from the NYPD Motorcycle Highway Patrol. And that experience is in motorcycle operation, specifically slow speed motorcycle operation. And the reason why I focus on that aspect of motorcycle operation on this channel is because it is, in my opinion, the most important motorcycle operation there is. Only 2% of the motorcycle population are proficient in slow speed motorcycle operation. Yet it is the most important because it requires the most skill from you. At speed, this motorcycle will stand up all by itself. It needs very little input from you. But 15 miles per hour or less, it needs 100% of your skill to keep this motorcycle upright. It's a necessary skill. It's a finite skill that needs to be practiced. So the goal is to get you to join, not the 2%. We need that 2% number to go up, okay? That's part one of the goal of this channel. Part two is to make you the boss of your motorcycle. What do I mean by that? If you are intimidated by your motorcycle, if you have to think twice, or you feel apprehension, or you feel anxiety when it comes time to make a left turn, or a right turn, or a U-turn, if you're approaching a stop and you have both your feet out, rather than using the throttle, the clutch, and the rear brake, if all of these things fit you, you are not the boss of your motorcycle. But that's fine, because like I said, 98% of people are not the boss of their motorcycle. That's the goal of this channel. The goal of this channel is to make you the boss of your motorcycle, and that's going to start by raising your confidence, and that confidence will be risen with practice, okay? So that's what we're doing. We're practicing on this channel. We're supporting one another, all right? It's all about positivity. That's all I stand for, is positivity. Now, the reason this is called Paying It Forward is I'm sharing this information with you. These practice sessions that we have out here, every week I come out here and I practice. The cost to you to come out here and practice with me is zero. Let me not do that, because that might be confusing. Zero, okay? Free. Why is it free? Because this is not a class. You pay for classes. This is me practicing in an empty parking lot that I don't own, and then other people coming to practice with me. And if they need some advice from me, or they'd like me to assist them in something, I'm happy to do that. All right, I want you to think about it this way. Suppose every week and I went out and I practiced my free throws, and I'm real good at free throws. And then some other people hear about the fact that I'm really good at free throws, so they come out and they want to practice with me as well. Am I going to charge them to help them out with a free throw? No. So it's the same thing, all right? And I love this. This is fun. I love helping people. So to me, this is a no-brainer, okay? One last thing I want to leave you guys with. Remember, we're practicing out here. I don't want you to overthink this. All we're doing is making right turns, left turns, U-turns, and going straight, all right? That's all this is. And that's 90% of what motorcycle riding is, okay? All right, so something that you do every day and this often should not be something that intimidates you, okay? This is basic, fundamental, one-on-one stuff on operating any motor vehicle. Okay, all right, so I'm always amped up when I get out here and I look at this parking lot. I already took my blower and kind of, you know, there's certain areas where there's a little residue left from rain and dirt, so I've done that. I'm getting ready to lay out the cones, whatever I'm gonna do today, and I am gonna practice. I have no idea who's coming today. Nobody might be coming today. And for those of you that don't know, I am in Pooler, Georgia, and right now it's 52 degrees. I think it's gonna go up to about 60, so that's fine. I got some layers on because it's a little chilly, but once you get out here in the sun and you start moving this motorcycle around, oh, that'll warm you up really quickly. This reminds me of my time in the NYPD motorcycle school. You know, if you had the privilege of getting into that school to get into the highway patrol in the NYPD, you would hope that you can go in the spring or the summer, because in the fall, or especially in the winter, where we practice is right on the water. And if it's cold, but guess what? You're still out there practicing. All right, so I don't care what month it was or what season it was. If you were privileged enough to get to have the opportunity to get in that unit, the most elite unit in the NYPD, the Highway Patrol, then you took it, okay? All right, so remember guys, I don't know who's showing up today. Nobody might be showing up today, but either way, I'm practicing, okay? All right, let's get to it. All right guys, I got the cone course set up. So today, what we're gonna be doing is exercise 1, actually no, this is not exercise 1 anymore, it's been replaced. All the way down there, what I want people to do is ride, and what they're gonna do is, there's a cone set up there, and then there's another cone set up here. And the purpose of that exercise is gonna get people accustomed to bringing the motorcycle to a stop, rear brake only. You know, if you're over 20 miles per hour, you start braking, you start downshifting, you're on that front brake, okay? Once you get to 20 miles per hour, get off that front brake, get on the rear brake, and then you're gonna stop at the first cone. Only foot that's going on the floor is which foot? The left foot. Why not the right foot? Because that's right, the right foot's covering the brake. Okay, then you're gonna come to the next cone, same thing. So you're practicing stopping and taking off. As soon as you give that rear wheel power, I want the foot on the board, all right? You don't have to, you don't have to do this, all right? Your feet are not training wheels. The rear wheel, power to that rear wheel is all you need. And then once you get to the second cone, you're gonna stop too. And I'm gonna show you guys this because we're gonna run through it. Same thing, stop, left foot down, then smooth acceleration. Remember, you preload before every movement. That includes coming from a stop, preload. And once you let the clutch out, just pick your foot up, you'll be fine. Then we're gonna come to this exercise where you go as slow as possible, all right? As slow as possible, because I want you to make yourself feel like you have to put your foot down. And instead of putting your foot down, let the clutch out. You're already preloaded, okay? You're preloaded. The power's there if you need it, all right? So that's what I want you to do. We've done that, we're gonna do it again. And the next exercise is gonna be a left turn and a right turn. That's all the way down there. I'll discuss that when we get to it, all right? Then the next exercise we have is a serpentine. I have 2 serpentines here. I have one set at 15 feet. The cones are 15 feet apart. These cones over here are set at 20 feet apart. So whichever one you're comfortable with, that's the one you do. Next, we have a U-turn. Now, I used to do the U-turn within the confines of 3 parking spaces, and that was it. Today, I'm doing the U-turn within the confines of, let's say, 4.5 parking spaces. Because I'm bringing the U-turn deeper in, okay? So now I want you to actually come in here. So if you noticed in the previous classes, I would stop the U-turn at this line, and you would just have to pull in here, which is this is 20 feet long, 9 feet wide, okay? Now I'm having you come into a little deeper. I want to give you some confinement in this U-turn. I want you to feel that you're in a U-turn, okay? We got to get the mind involved as much as we can. It's already involved anyway because it's what's driving you crazy and intimidating you, but we're going to take care of that. I also used to take the cones all the way to this line. 3 parking spaces, 27 feet. Today we're coming here. 24 feet. We have to start challenging ourselves. We got to start leaning the motorcycle, okay? All right. So today, oh, I'm sorry, I almost forgot. All the way over there, oh man, it's going to be a shame if more people don't show up for this because they're missing out, I'm telling you. It's a beautiful day. If I didn't say, it is, hold on. It's 54 degrees, all right? 54 degrees. Beautiful weather for this. And lastly, all the way over there, I have a figure 8 setup. I made that a little bit wider as well. And then lastly, I have a double serp over here, offset double serp, okay? So we got a lot of good stuff out here today. And I'll put the dimensions to this in the description. But what I want you guys to realize is these are not police motor officer specifications. So I don't want you to go too crazy on the dimensions. If you just need a starting point, that's fine. But remember, if you're just starting out, the only thing I want you to do is a single serp. All right, obviously I want you to do this exercise right here. You don't need any cones to do that. You don't need any cones to do that. But as far as cones are concerned, a single serp, start at 15 feet apart, and if you need 20 feet to warm yourself up and then you want to move down to 15, motor officer specification is 12, all right? But we're not trying to be motor officers. We're just trying to be proficient and get our confidence up, okay? And if you want to do the U-turn, just do 3 parking spaces. Start out with that, 27 feet, okay? And the goal is to work down, Okay? So whatever you throw out there, I don't care what you throw out there. Throw the cones on the ground, start trying to go around them. If it feels too tight, widen them out. That's all you really need to do. Okay? All right. All right, we're going to meet all of these riders that we got here today. I mean, we got a ton of them today. Okay, and here they are right here. All 2 of them. Okay. So the first person we're going to meet is this guy right here. What's your name, sir?
My name's Rick.
Rick, where are you from, Rick?
I came down from Virginia.
Wow, that's nice. How was that ride?
It was nice. We came down in a motor coach and put the bike in the trailer.
That's how you do it, you know, because that's what I would do. But that's me. I know you guys that like to ride, you know, big ups to you because I'm not doing it. All right, but I got a medical condition. I got arthritis in my hips. I can't keep my legs open too long, and I'm serious about this. It's painful. I'd be a horrible woman. Cannot keep my legs open that long, all right? All right, anyway. Okay, Rick, how long you been riding?
About 35 years.
35 years Rick's been riding. And on a scale of 1 to 10, Rick, 10 being the best, how would you rate your slow speed motorcycle operation skills?
5.
5. 5 is good. 5 is
I
good.
don't run slow that often, so
Exactly.
I don't really practice it much.
Exactly. And we need to practice it. It's a finite skill. All right? It's a finite skill. All right? And we want you to be the boss of your motorcycle. Speaking of your motorcycle, what are you riding?
2014 Ultra Limited. Right now we got the tour pack off. Got a little bit of work done to it.
Let's talk about it, man. Let's tell us what you got going on here.
Well, we got the KST bars, got Memphis shades, deflectors, kind of guard your hands in the winter for the cold. Got heated grips. We changed out, put chrome wheels and front fork tubes for aluminum cast. We swapped those out for the chrome. Did a full D&D exhaust, 2-in-1, cam, Thunder Max tuner, up the horsepower and torque a little bit. Got the hammock heated seat for luxury. I got a real bad back, so it helps with that backrest. And other than that, that's about it. Oh, we do have the J&R fast up air ride suspension in the rear.
Oh, let's take a look at that.
That's a little different.
Let's take a look at that.
There, that's a compressor kicking.
Wow, look at that. Is that not cool or what? I told you guys are costing me money because every time you make me a recommendation, now it's in my head. And once it's in my head, I can't get it out. So, but I can't buy it all. So eventually I'm going to make a choice. And right now, what Rick's got going on here, that's what's up. I'm really thinking about that. And you said it's comfortable as well, correct?
That ride's really good. We used to do a lot of two-up, stock suspension on there. It had a little hand pump up the air shock in the rear, and it always leaked out. It was terrible. It was bottoming out all the time. So we went and did this and never bottomed out since. And we can adjust how much air we want to put in, how much pressure, how high we want it. We can adjust the ride height if we want to.
That's perfect.
So it's pretty versatile. So
good stuff.
like it.
All right, so let's take a look at this. Okay, so I see the wind deflectors. All right, I notice he's got the custom dynamics lights that I have. Very nice. That's the heated seats. Oh yeah, and she's riding low, but she's not going to stay like that today. Not on this cone course, at least. All right, and we got another rider here today. Okay, we're going to introduce him now. How you doing, sir? What's your name?
Bill.
Bill, where you from?
Right around here. We're in Ellavale, about 20 miles away.
Oh, man, so isn't he lucky? 20 miles away. Beautiful. All right, and how long you been riding?
On and off all my life, but probably consecutively maybe only 5 or 6 years total.
Okay. And how would you rate your slow speed motorcycle riding skills, 10 being the best?
A 2, because I just got back in after 20 years off. So.
Beautiful. That's what I'm talking about. Okay, so he's a 2, but the goal is always, if you're a 2, to leave here a little bit higher. I don't care if it's a half a point, but a little bit higher. All right, tell us what you're riding today.
I'm riding a 2019 Ford F-150 Larry.
Whoa!
And I believe I can do the U-turn, but we're going to have to extend it out a little bit.
So let's look at this F-150. Whoa! We're going to talk to him in a second and figure out why he is not riding his motorcycle on this beautiful day, and he's 20 miles away. All right, if you guys hear music in the background, that's Sam. Sam just pulled up. You remember him from last week. I'm glad to have him back. Okay, tell the people why you were here in the F-150 and not. What kind of motorcycle are you riding? I'm sorry.
2020 Harley Sport Glide.
Okay, where is she?
She is at the house 20 miles away. It was cold this morning and I had some stuff to do and should have rode it because it's warming up fine.
That's right. Now, did you take care of that stuff?
Oh, I did.
Okay, beautiful. So, what do you think, people? Should he go back home, get his motorcycle, and come back? I mean, he's 20 miles away. I think he should. I know you would. All right. We're going to get him coming right off the motorcycle. We ain't even going to let him get warmed up. His motorcycle, the fans are still going. We're not even going to let you get warmed up, Sam. How you doing, man? Welcome back.
Good, thank you.
You ready to have some fun?
Yes.
Oh, you sure? All right, Sam. For you guys that don't know, this is Sam. Sam was here last week. Sam, tell us what you're riding. Tell us where you're from. I'm sorry.
Everywhere.
He's from everywhere. Where'd you come from today?
Hinesville.
Okay, Hinesville, which is in
Hinesville,
what state?
Georgia.
There we go. It's in the state of Georgia. Remember, there's people watching us from all over the world, man. So they don't know where Hinesville is. And what are you riding?
2020 Road Glide Limited.
All right. Sam, on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, how would you rate your slow motorcycle riding skills?
1.
Okay. All right. Sam's a 1, but Sam's back 2 weeks in a row. And that's what's up, because it's all about practice. And if you're going to practice and somebody's out here, Sam, listen, Sam got here. I'd say it took me about 30, 45 minutes, well, maybe not, to put all the cones out here. I had to get my blower out and blow some of this, the sand and stuff out. So maybe about 45 minutes. And Sam could come here and just work. Why would he not come back? This is it. This is perfect. Perfect. So Sam, thanks for coming back, man. Thanks for coming back. Okay, so this is exercise number 1. As you guys can see, my motorcycle's all the way down there. That's going to be the starting point. And all we're doing in this exercise is we're riding the motorcycle up to this cone right here, which is where the camera is. And the purpose is to practice bringing the motorcycle to a stop, not touching that front brake. And as soon as the motorcycle is stopped, the right foot stays on the rear brake. You're always covering the rear brake. Left foot on the ground. And then we're also practicing taking off, where as soon as you feel power going to the rear wheel, as soon as that motorcycle starts to move, you pick your foot right up. Remember, even when you're stopping and starting like this, you preload before every movement, all right? And that includes this. And this is gonna happen twice. You're gonna stop here, and then there's another cone down there. I'm gonna demonstrate it. But again, all we're doing here, you're riding to that first cone, coast to the ride, rear brake only, come to a stop, left foot on the ground. Once you're stopped and you're ready to go, preload, let the clutch out. As soon as you feel the power, foot up. You get to the next cone, same thing, okay? And after you finish there and you start to go and you make that turn, then we're gonna go into the formally exercise number 1, which is now exercise number 2. Going slow as you can, straight. It doesn't matter if you have to turn the handlebars. You don't have to stay in the straight line. The point is to get the motorcycle to the point where you feel like you need to put your foot down, and don't put your foot down, just let the clutch out. Okay, and then we'll meet where we started over there at the cooler. All right. Now, if you're riding up to a stop and you're 40, 50 miles per hour, obviously when you first start braking, you're braking with the front brake. Once you get to 20 miles per hour, you should be coming off that front brake, and now you're going into your slow speed motorcycle maneuvers. So I'm coming up, I'm on the rear brake, left foot down. And the more you do this, the more you're going to get accustomed to actually having your body weight shift to the left. So when the motorcycle stops, all you have to do is put the left foot down. Now every now and then you might have to put the right foot down quickly if you're off balance, and that's fine. All you have to do is once you get your balance, you make the adjustment, right foot back on the brake, left foot on the board. Very good. Left foot down. Foot up right away. Perfect. Very good. Perfect. Now you hear how high Sam's revs are? Remember what I told you. Doesn't matter how high the revs are. There we go. Left foot down. It doesn't matter how high his revs are because he controls how much power goes to the rear wheel with the clutch. We have Kev over here doing the slow ride. I hear the brake squeaking. Perfect. Perfect. And again, his revs are high because that was the biggest problem we were having out here. People are not preloaded, and if they are, once they get into it, into executing a turn, they forget about the power, and that's how the motorcycle drops. Okay, so last week we did a left turn. This week we're doing a left turn and a right turn. Why didn't I do a right turn last week? I have no clue. It doesn't make any sense. It should have been done. So it's being done this week. So simple, just like we did before. The first time through, I want everybody to just ride right through it. Now, the entrance coming here is 9 feet. That's the width of a parking spot. The left and the right turn are 5 feet. Let me double check that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Actually, it's 6 feet. All right? Sounds like a lot of space, and for a motorcycle, it really is. Okay? Just like exercise number 2, you're riding nice and slow. You're keeping the motorcycle straight up. The only thing we're incorporating here is turning the handlebars. That's the only difference. Okay? So if you're going to make a left turn, ride straight through, make the left turn. Next time you come through, come to the immediate right, put your front wheel right at the cone, and then make the turn. Next time through, come to the middle, and if you choose to, next time through, come to the left. Only if you choose to. Again, I made it a little tighter. Next time you come through, you're going to make a right turn. Same thing. First time through, go straight through. I want you to see that whenever you add speed, it's easier because less of your skill is necessary. Next time you come through, you're going to come to the immediate left and make the right, and then come to the middle, make the right, and then if you choose, come inside and make a right. What I want to get through to you guys is this is practice. Okay? If you're going to make any mistakes, this is where you're going to make them. I don't want you to think that we're training for the police rodeo, all right? Or that we're trying to get you to make 18-foot U-turns. If you get there, great, but that is not the goal. The goal is to raise your confidence, because once your confidence is up, all of this other stuff is just going to come together, all right? The challenging yourself is not going to be a big challenge because your confidence is here. Okay, these two things run hand in hand. All right, so I'm going to run through it first. And I'm only going to do, I'll do them both. I'm going to run through them real quick, and then we'll get Sam and Kev, right? Rick, I'm sorry. I had so many Kevins here before. Then we'll get Rick and Sam to run through it as well. Okay, same rules apply. Left foot down. Preload before you move. Preload. Making a left. Look where you're going. Your eyes in your head. Making a right, look where you're going. So now, you know what I just noticed? That I am leaning because I'm going a little fast. But if you slow down, just like we were in exercise 2, you can keep the motorcycle straight up and make this turn. All right? Okay, so now we're going to make the left turn from the immediate right. Front tire is at the cone. Your eyes and your head. Always look where you're going. Preload. Left foot down. See, we're always practicing. You see how the stuff we did in exercise 1 comes up in exercise 3? All of this stuff ties in with each other. You'll see. All right, center of the lane, making the left turn. Reload. Look where you're going. All right, now we're at the immediate left of this lane. This is going to be tight. I don't expect them to do this without knocking down cones. I might even hit some cones. Let's do it. Preload. All right, now we're making right turns. You know how we love right turns. Okay, again, look where you're going. Preload. Center of the lane, look where you're going. Covering the rear brake. Preload. All right, now we're on the right side. Same thing applies. For all of the people that don't know what preload is, you got to watch my other videos because it's all about the preload here on Robert Simmons Paying It Forward. Preload. Well, see? Now what happened there is the balance had me going to the left. No way I was going to make that. Let's try it again. Preload. Balance again. Let's try it again. This is why we practice. Always practicing. Reload. Oh, and how could I forget the infamous, I need to make a quick turn, so I got to let the motorcycle fall, right? Remember with that, you're turning the wheel all the way, right? Your left foot is on the ground, of course. That's what's holding the motorcycle up. You're covering the rear brake. You're going to preload, and this is when preload is more important than ever. Preload, let the motorcycle dip. Go. All right, and that's it. That's what we're doing here. And once we finish with this, we'll move on to the next thing. What we're doing out here is we go through every single exercise. Once we go through every exercise, then everybody can do what they want to do. Go back and work on what you think you need to work on. Practice, practice, practice. I don't want to see people standing around. Unless you're drinking or you're going to the bathroom, you should be practicing. Get this time in. All right, let's do it, guys. All right, first time through, straight through. Very good. All right, very good. Now, did you guys see right there what he did? You see what he did? I want him to keep the motorcycle a little bit straighter up. He started that turn way too early, and that's why he took out this cone, okay? And you know what the rules are here. You knock down a cone, you pick it up. I got it, Sam. This one's on me. Don't start that turn so early. Don't start the turn so early. You started too early. All right, let's do it again. This time he should be coming over here and coming to a stop and then making this turn. All right. Reload. There you go. There we go. Beautiful. Beautiful. I even want his revs a little higher. I want the revs as high as they can possibly be. That's only going to help. All right, and he put his left foot down, and right foot down came down too, but it doesn't matter. Like I said, sometimes you lose your balance. This takes practice. Preload. Go back. There you go. There you go. Now what's key there? The key there, I don't care about those cones. The key there is, so how the motorcycle was dipping? Before this course, before this practice session, he would have put his foot down. But he didn't. And again, I don't care if you hit the cones. Don't put your foot down. All right, that's it. You're on your own now picking up the cones. That's it, you get 2. No, you know what? I'll give you 3. You got 1 more. 1 more in the bank. All right, now we're coming from the center. All right, Rick, when you make that turn, I want to hear even more preload. Good, good, good. Beautiful, beautiful. I want you to stay on the left. Let's perfect that first before we start doing other stuff, you know what I mean? Because again, like I said, guys, I want you to challenge yourself, but if you clearly need the work, it doesn't make sense to move forward before you take care of what you got to take care of behind you. So let's make sure that we can get Sam squared away here, so he's confident enough to move in closer. Go ahead, man, it's your last one. I got it. So all we have to get Sam to do is turn the handlebars. He's a little apprehensive in turning the handlebars, but we'll get there. All right, Rick is going for the inside. You don't have to, like I told him. If he wants to stay over here, that's fine. Preload! Okay, so what happened there? There's not enough preload. It's the only reason he put his foot down, but that's why we incorporate exercise 1 and exercise 2. Okay? All right. Rick is going to try it again. Preload! Okay, that's 2 for Rick. I'll pick up the cone for him 1 more time, and then he's on his own. Giving people 3 times, and that's because there's only 2 guys in the class. Or should I say in the session. Now I'm hitting cones. Hey, Sam. Remember what we were doing over there. The same thing you did over there is here. So as soon as you preload, you're already preloaded. As soon as you start giving power to the rear wheel, just pick up that foot. Don't worry about it. If you hit these cones, I don't care. Just don't drag, don't put your foot down. Pick it up. Go, go. Perfect. All right, he was almost perfect. All he did was nip that cone. He nipped it. So that's perfect. And that's what we're talking about. Progress, baby. Progress. Now he's got to come back and get this cone because he's already used his allotment up of Robert picking up the cones for him. You're getting a lot better. Oh, he's coming again. Good. You see that? You see how he wanted to come right back and do it? That's confidence growing. That's what you're seeing there. Reload. Pick your foot up. There you go. Oh, you're doing a domino effect now. He took down one, now he took down another. No problem. Okay. The biggest part here, though, is he's not putting his foot down. We're knocking down dominoes. Okay, Rick is going for a right turn now, going straight through the first time. Took out a cone. I got it, that's 2. Better. And this is how we get better. Practice. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, now we're going from a standstill. Now you guys see that Rick is leaning the motorcycle, and that's good. That's really good. It's showing me that he's already comfortable with a lean. Remember, Rick said he's a 5, so I expect that. He said he said he's a 5 as far as his low-speed motorcycle operation. Now he's going from the center of the lane. Preloaded. Foot up. Beautiful, beautiful. Beautiful. Okay, so we're gonna have Sam come through here again. Let me say something to Sam. Sam, much, much better. I can already see it happening. I want you to concentrate on keeping the handlebars turned the whole way. Because once you get right here, the only reason you're hitting those cones is because your handlebars are not turned. Just turn them. And if you have to lean the motorcycle a little bit, that'll help too. All right, but much better. Preload. Foot up, good. That's okay, that happens. Just go back, do it again. Because sometimes you got to get your balance, so I get it. Good, good. Turn. Perfect. Perfect. That, ladies and gentlemen, is what they call progress. Now, we got Rick now. He should be making this right turn from the center of the lane now. And really, I think I just want Sam to keep making those lefts. And once his confidence is up on those, then we can work on the rights. Okay. No, I got you. That's 3. This is it. So Rick is starting that turn a little too early. That's the only reason he's hitting that. Very good. He's using that rear brake. Good, good, good. Turn, turn. Ah. All right, so his allotment is used up, so he's going to have to pick up that cone. Okay. Rick, second attempt on the right turn from the center lane. Starting that turn too early. All right, I'll talk to him about that. Do you know what's happening here?
I'm starting my turn too early.
There you go. And that's, listen, like I said, he rated himself a 5. He knows what he's doing. He's just got to practice like the rest of us. Starting that turn too early, your front wheel should be as close to these cones as you can get them. Then you're good. All right, so they both picked up their cones. Their allotment is over as far as me picking up the cones for them. Rick's going to give it another try. Reload. Start early again. Oh, but he made it around it. He made the adjustment, but you know what else he did? He looked at that cone. There's exceptions to everything. Okay, exercise number 4, single serpentine. This is a bread and butter exercise, okay, because this is incorporating practicing staying in the friction zone. It's also getting you to get accustomed to turning your handlebars, and because we got accustomed to turning our handlebars, making left turns and right turns in exercise number 3. But now we're adding some leaning, some swinging, some swaying. Remember, if you lock your handlebars, you can turn, you can lower the radius of the turn, of course. And if you lean the motorcycle, that also helps you assist. We're not locking handlebars here. You could do that, but we don't need to. Okay, these cones are 15 feet apart. Again, like I said, the motor officer specifications is 12 feet. I have another set over here that are 20 feet apart for anybody that doesn't feel comfortable with the 15. Okay, the goal here, obviously, again, I don't care if you guys hit cones, this is practice. But I don't want you looking at the cones, all right? Do not look at my cones. You see how small these cones are? These are baby cones, all right? They're very shy. They don't like being stared at, so don't stare at the cones. Look at them, get a mental picture of it, and your peripheral vision will take over the rest. The only cone I want you looking at is the one all the way at the end. That cone is used to being stared at. It doesn't have a problem. So when you're going through this course, your eyes should be straight ahead as you're doing this, straight ahead. Don't look down at the cone, because if you look at it, you're gonna hit it. And as I stated before, it's inappropriate. They don't like it, so don't stare at them. Okay, what I also want you to do is, I want you to kind of go out wide. Now you see there's a line here, and there's a line here. I want you to stay within those lines, but I don't want you to hug the cones. All right, you could, it's fine, but I really want you to lean. I want you to get accustomed to leaning the motorcycle, and the best way to do that is to come out wide. All right, if you're making your turns like this, it's going to get you more accustomed to actually feeling the motorcycle lean. The other thing is, I don't want you to start your turns late, because if you start your turns too late, if you're turning right here, it's just going to make it that much harder to make the next turn, okay? And eventually, you're going to wind up being so close to this cone that you're going to hit it, all right? So when you pass the cone, as soon as you pass this cone, you should already be in your turn. You shouldn't be starting your turn as you pass it. You should already be in your turn. So as you pass this cone, and I want you to pass this cone close, all right? The closer you are to this cone, the better it's going to be for you as you go down, okay? All right, I'm going to demonstrate that. And you're going to see on my way back, on my way riding back, you're going to see my head is straight ahead. My head is straight ahead. I'm looking right at the camera. Straight ahead. Looking straight ahead. Clutch in. Clutch in. Clutch in. Now, if you hear me saying clutch in, remember what I said. It's easier to turn the motorcycle handlebars when there's no power going to the rear wheel. So whenever I'm about to make a turn, I pull the clutch all the way in. I'm out of the friction zone for that second. And then I'm right back in, right back into the friction zone, to the sweet spot, giving power to the rear wheel. And that thrusts me forward till I get to the next turn. Clutch in, clutch in, clutch in, clutch in. All right? Could you turn the wheel? Can you turn the handlebars without pulling the clutch in? Of course you could. A lot easier though to do it with the clutch in. All right, we'll get the first guy up here. Rick. Okay, Rick's gonna do the 20 feet ones. Not bad at all. Oh, and he's gonna come back and do the 15s. Okay. Very good, very good, very good. Beautiful. Let's do it, Sam. You see, Sam is still a little straight up. As a matter of fact, Sam really should have been on the 20-foot side. So Sam's got to put those cones back. Oh, well, look at that. Sam, this young gentleman said he's going to take care of the cones for you. Just make sure it's exactly 15 feet apart. Hey, Sam. Yeah. Okay, much better. I do want him to slow down. Okay, because remember, the faster you go, the less skill is required from you to keep the motorcycle upright. Good, much better, much better, much better. All right, we're gonna go to exercise number 5. I'm losing count, which is the U-turn. Hey, Sam. All right, we're gonna coming back. That was much better. When you went down, you were kind of going a little fast, kind of straight up, and then on the way back, I don't know what happened, but all of a sudden, there was a little bit more of this, and that's perfect. Less speed, more technique as far as leaning. Beautiful. We're gonna go to exercise 5, which is the U-turn. You're familiar with it. I did make an adjustment.
Yeah, it's small.
Yeah,
That's a bad adjustment.
last week it was 27 feet. This week it's 24. Don't worry about it. And again, if it's something that you're not really ready for, we'll come back, we'll do all of this. You can do some more stuff. And then eventually, you never know. You might get struck by lightning today. Sam is out here murdering my cones. Okay, so U-turn. As I stated before, this week we went from 27 feet to 24 feet. I also made the U-turn deeper. Instead of stopping at 3 parking spaces, I took it to the other side and incorporated the other 3. All right, because I want you guys to feel the enclosure of the U-turn. Nothing else has changed. It's the same thing. Well, the extra feet that I took away, that changed, of course. But remember, 24 feet is a lot of space to make a U-turn. It's a lot of space, all right? I want to force you to lean the motorcycle. Again, if you get into this U-turn and you feel like, uh-oh, don't put your foot down. Just open up the clutch. If you have to ride through, you see, I don't have it coned off where you know, it looks like there's no escape. You have escapes, but even if you hit a cone, that's fine. Sam has proven the cones are fine. They don't mind being hit. They just don't like being stared at, okay? Now the green cones are different. They love being stared at, okay? It's good for their ego. So that's what I want you guys to do with the green cones. So when you pull into this U-turn, see that green cone over there? That's the first thing I want you looking at. Because where you look is where you go. You're coming over to it, you're coming over, you're coming over. As soon as you get to this green cone, as soon as you get here, I want you to jerk your head. Don't turn it lightly, don't turn it slowly. Don't give yourself whiplash either. I want you to turn your head and look at the green cone over there, okay? Where you look, that's where you'll go, all right? Same thing applies to a right turn. When you're making a right turn, now you're gonna look at that cone over there. You're gonna go towards that cone, okay? And as soon as you get to this cone, you put your wheels at this cone, turn your head, look at this cone over here. Excuse the wind, okay? Nice and easy. Remember, you're in the friction zone the whole time, and preload. You're preloaded while you're in the friction zone. Please concentrate on keeping the power to the rear wheel in the turn, because I am finding that preload. Everybody knows what preload is now, and they do it. I'm hearing it. It sounds good. As soon as they get into a turn, forget about the preload. You know, they get off that throttle, and that's the worst place you want to be out of. That's the worst place you want to not have power going to the rear wheel, is in a turn, especially if you're leaning. And I got news for you. You don't have to lean a lot. You can lean a little with no power to the rear wheel. Gravity's always calling. We're not going to answer it today though, right? Okay, so let me run through this real quick, or as they say down here in the South, right quick. Okay, so this U-turn is nice and deep now. You don't have the pressure of trying to figure out what to do right away. You got time to get in here. Come to the green cone, turn your head. Now you can see I'm doing this in 18 feet. So, same thing for the right turn. Go for the green cone, turn your head. Made that one nice and wide. Try one more time. Nice and easy. Right turn. Go towards the cone. Turn your head. All right, let's get some other people up here. It's all yours, man. Okay, very good. Plenty of space. Beautiful. Beautiful. Oh, beautiful. Okay, now we're doing the right turn. Nice. What I tell you guys about these right turns? You see, that one didn't look as smooth, but I don't care. In fact, I like it better when it doesn't look smooth, because what it's doing is it's making him concentrate more on keeping power to the rear wheel. Give me another one, man. So when you see his motorcycle jerking like that, that's him on the rear brake, but he's keeping power to the rear wheel, so he's fine. Look at him. Perfect. Head and eyes turn. Perfect. Head and eyes. You have to turn your head. Okay, we talk about preload, we talk about power to the rear wheel, but you have to turn your head. Very important. See his head? Okay, no problem. Let's try that again. That's why I wanted him to do the right turn again. Because if it's not as smooth, I do like it, but it means you need to work on it. Any good? Head turn. All right, good, beautiful. You saw his foot? He brought his foot out twice, but he didn't touch the ground this time. That's how we get better. We're working against instinct, so that's what you're doing. Good work, man. Reload. Beautiful, 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 beautiful. That time he had the head and eyes, he had the power to the rear wheel, and he let the clutch out enough to actually have the power go to the rear wheel and make that turn. So I had you do the right turn over, because I always say those turns, for whatever reason, are more difficult. I'm still not sure why, right? And it wasn't smooth, but like I said, I like that it's not smooth because it's forcing you to concentrate on the rear brake, the throttle, the clutch, and turning your head, which you do. You almost look like you're in The Exorcist because you turn your head. Yeah, you turn your head perfectly, and the bottom line is you're not going to have any issues with not making the turn because your head's all the way turned. So, and then after that, the next thing was you put your foot down.
Yep.
No problem, because like I said, we're still warming up. We're just going through it all, really for the purposes of the camera. Then we're going to get out here and have some fun. Next time around, you saw his foot come off right twice, but he never touched the floor. He just let the clutch out. I love seeing that because it's all coming together. It's like a puzzle. Then the next time through, his throttle was a lot higher. He let the clutch out as much so he can get that power. Beautiful. All right, Sam, I just got a phone call from about, the last time I checked, there was like 4,500 people subscribed. They want to see you do this U-turn. Let's do it, man.
They got to wait a month.
Well, let's give it a shot, man. We don't talk yourself out of it. All right, Sam, let's do it. And again, if Sam, I want him to try it, but if after he tries it, he's like, no, I'm not ready for this yet, no problem. Go back to exercise 1, 2, 3, 4. Look at that. Not bad, not bad. Like I said, we're knocking down dominoes. Sam's knocking down cones, but we're knocking down dominoes. And his head is turned perfectly. All we got to do now is work on leaning the motorcycle some more. Turning and leaning. Your head turn is perfect. You know, yes. All we need to work on is you leaning that motorcycle and turning more. That's all. But you're doing good, man. I refuse to move the cones back out because I see the skills happening. Make sure when you're making that turn, you're looking at this green cone. Okay? If you look at that green cone, that's where you should go. It's going to make you turn your handlebars more or even make you lean. You never know. We'll try it one more time and then we'll go to the next exercise. And if you say, you know what? I'm not ready for this U-turn today. No problem. That's why we got plenty of stuff out here for you to practice on.
It's all good. Yeah, try.
That's it, man. That's all we're going to do is try. Feet come up right away. Very good. He's preloaded. Head turn. Yeah, we just got to get him to turn. All right, we'll work on it. Sam's trying it again. Okay, yeah. I almost feel like I should move the cones out some more for him, but I want him to keep trying this because I know he could do it. We're going to exercise number 6, which is going to be the figure 8. All right, this is the figure 8. Now, usually when I do the figure 8, I do it within the confines of 4 parking spaces. So we have 6 parking spaces here, and I've also extended it out 6 feet in that direction, okay? So the gate is over here. You're gonna enter the gate. Whenever you enter the gate, you go to the opposite corner. The gate is in the opposite corner as well. We're not going out that gate just yet. You're gonna pull in. You're gonna turn here. You're always in the friction zone, like I said. Every time you're gonna turn your head. Try to look behind you, like Rick was doing, the Exorcist, okay? And then you're going towards that corner. And once you go towards that corner, okay, now when you're going to make your left turn, you're looking behind you again. You're looking at the corner you're going to, okay? You're making a figure 8, all right? That's what you're doing. You're making a figure 8, and then eventually you go out that gate. Okay, let's run through it. Turn your head, look over your shoulder. Turn your head, look over your shoulder. Turn your head, look over your shoulder. Turn your head, over your shoulder, preload, and right out. And that's all it is. All right, let's do it, Rick. He's on that rear brake. Good, he's not cheating himself. He went all the way to the cone. Good, 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 good. All right.
There it is. I knew it was going to be sometime.
I got it. What happened there?
I pulled in too much clutch. And not
Exactly.
too far to the side.
Yeah, exactly. So, when you're turning the handlebars, are you squeezing the clutch in? Well, let me just say this. As soon as you make this turn, and then you have to transition to the next turn, squeeze the clutch all the way in. So you have to have some momentum going to give you some, so you know, squeeze the clutch all the way in just to turn the handlebars, then get back into the friction zone. It's easier to turn when there's no power going to the rear wheel, okay? And again, if something like that happens again, just let the clutch out, because the only way the motorcycle is going to fall is if there's no power, and I don't care if you hit the cones. Start from, okay, yeah. All right, second attempt. Good. There you go. Preload, preload, preload. Good. Preload. Got to keep power to that rear wheel. Throttle, throttle, throttle. Good. Throttle, throttle. Beautiful. Beautiful. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, that's what I call progress. When you can identify what you did wrong and make the correction, beautiful. Beautiful.
It made a huge difference from the first time where I kept feathering the clutch.
Uh-huh.
For my transition,
Mhm.
the second time I made the transition, I pulled the clutch all the way in and then feathered it back out.
Yes, exactly.
All the way around.
And this is what I've been trying to tell you guys. It's always easy. And let me tell you something. Here's the funny thing. This is even true when riding at speed. If you're riding at speed and you get to a portion of this happens in my subdivision all the time, maybe about 30, 35 miles per hour, there's a section where you have to go around some concrete. I always like it because it makes me do this. Even at that speed, right before I make that turn, I pull the clutch in. It's just easier. Because remember, as long as power is going to the rear wheel, your motorcycle wants to stand up. So you're really fighting turning it if you still have power going to the rear wheel. Just pull the clutch in, much easier. All right, let's get to the next exercise. Okay, we're at the final exercise, and this is a double offset serpentine. Here's the gate, and basically, you're gonna head to that gate, and you're gonna go through those double cones, and then you're gonna go to this gate, and then you're gonna go to that gate, and so on, and so on, and so forth. And that's it. And again, remember guys, all of these things tie in together. And truth be told, if you can do that figure 8, you can do everything out here, all right? Right now, Sam is practicing. He's gonna go back to exercise 2, exercise 3, exercise 1, and when he feels comfortable, he's gonna go back to that U-turn, okay? And if that's all he gets through today, that's fine, because we're gonna be here every weekend, okay? And maybe, sometimes I come during the week too, So anyway, let me run through this really quick, or as they say in the South, right quick, and then we'll get Rick to run through it. And like I was just telling the people, Rick, once you do that figure 8, everything else is easy, because that's forcing you to make quick transitions. That's the only difference in making that U-turn. Okay. Look where you're going. Look at the next cones. 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 Now what I'll say also is, when I make the turn, as soon as I make the first turn, I'm looking at the next turn. I'm not waiting until I get to the cones to look at them. I'm looking at them right way before. So right as soon as I turn my head, I'm gonna say, looking at the next cones. I want you to see where my motorcycle is. So right at the gate, I'm not looking at the gate, I'm looking at the cones where I'm going. You wanna look where you're going. Okay? Now, I already made the mental picture of those, I'm looking at the next one. Looking at the next one. I don't have to look at these. Looking at the next ones. Looking at the next ones. I'm looking at the next cones before I even get to the ones I'm going to. When I'm at the gate, of course, I'm looking at these. As soon as I get right here, before I even get to these cones, I'm already looking at those. Because my peripheral vision can still see them. I don't have to stare at them. As soon as I get here, I already have a mental picture of where they are. I'm looking right there. That's it. All right, let's do it. Now he started that turn a little late, so it's gonna make him have to make sharper turns. But he's good. Oh, took out a cone. Took out another cone. But again, I don't care about the cone. This is his first time through. So when you made the first turn you made coming in, you started that turn late. And if you started late, now you're gonna have to compensate for it all the way up. And it makes your turns have to be tighter. Okay, so right when you get ready to come back in this direction, hug the right side, right? And then start that turn before you get through the cones, not after you're through the cones. Okay, make it a little easier. Sam is back over, making the left turns and the right turns. Very good. Uh-oh. Uh-oh! We might have some mechanical difficulties here. Oh boy. How is that possible? Come on, baby. Okay, Sam is getting better and better and better, but he did report something to me. All right, Sam, what happened out there?
Grab that front brake. So I gotta get my chest up like his.
You did some push-ups?
Did some push-ups.
But you're getting better though.
Getting better. Making that turn, getting better.
How's the confidence level?
Much better.
Yeah, and that's synonymous. If he's getting better, that means that his confidence level is going up. All right? All right, so I'm gonna get out here and practice. Unfortunately, Rick, remember we talked about this motorcycle. God damn, she looks good. Right now she's taking a nap. Rick is ready to go, but she said I'm done. So we're just waiting for my wife to bring a power pack over here so we can give her a little boost. Are we gonna be good after that?
Yeah.
You sure? Are you gonna be able to? Well, we'll have it out here anyway. Yeah, we'll have the power pack out here anyway. Okay. All right, so Rick got his motorcycle running again. He had a battery tender on his bike. And our friend over here in the Ford, he let him plug it in. We are up and running. So he's back in the figure eight. Throttle, throttle, throttle. Get that throttle up, keep it up. Beautiful. Beautiful, oh, much better. Beautiful. All right, now he's gonna do the double serps. No cones. There we go. Nice. Turning his head early. There you go. Where your head and eyes go, that's where you're going to go. Beautiful. Nice clean run. Nice clean run. I would like to see his revs higher on those turns. He's kind of getting out of the revs on the turn. The momentum's pulling him through. But sometimes that's, you know. See how you hear the engine go down at every turn, right? That's the worst time for it to go down. Right there should be high and it's low. All right, and I'm going to talk to him about that because he's making it through, but it's just a matter of time before the bike doesn't make it through. Your revs should never be going down right before a turn. That's where your revs are most important. Good, he's not cheating himself. He's using all the space that he has. Hey, Rick. Okay, so good job. Very good job. What I am going to tell you is, I want to play this back for you so you can see it, or you can just wait for the video to come out. But every time you get to a turn, your revs go down, which it should be the opposite, because the revs are more important in the turn than when you're going straight. And that's exactly what you're doing. You get your revs up, you're preloaded. I think we're digging into the preload too much.
I think that I feel like what I'm doing is when I'm initiating a turn, I pull the clutch all the way in, let off of the throttle,
Yeah.
and then as I go to let it out, then I'm preloading again as I'm going out.
Okay.
I think that's where the drop is coming, but it might not be.
Yeah, and that's why it's always important to watch yourself, because you'll see the rev will be up, and as soon as you're about to go into the turn, it goes down. Like you get it, you let go of the throttle to make the turn. And a lot of people do that.
Pull in,
Yeah.
just kind of drop
Yeah.
it, and then, which is what I'm doing.
Yeah. I just don't want you
I
to,
could hold it
yeah,
steady.
I want you to, if you can, just try to hold it steady, because that way you don't have to worry about your right hand at all. Once you preload and you keep it right there, then your clutch, that's all you need to do.
Okay.
All right?
Yeah.
All right, try that again.
It's if it starts.
Uh-oh. Come on, start, baby, start. Yeah! We can't turn that thing off again, it's too risky. Good, see now his revs are staying up. Good. See? See? There we go. The revs are staying up in the turn. Perfect. That's what I want to hear. That's what I want to hear. I want to hear the revs all the way through the turn, because then I know you have power to that rear wheel. Uh-oh, I heard some board scrape. There we go. He's loosening up. That's what this is all about. Perfect. And the bike sounds good. And as good as Rick is doing, right? And as much as I love seeing him do good, believe it or not, I'm loving this more. I'm loving the fact that Sam is over there and he's working, he's practicing, he's getting better, his confidence is going up, and I can guarantee you already, and the integrity that he has, the fact that he's disciplined enough. I'm not standing there. He knows he grabbed that front brake. He did the push-ups for it. That's what this is all about. You know, you can always tell when somebody's actually serious about something. And he's serious about getting better. He's serious about getting promoted to the rank of boss of his motorcycle. It might help if I put my helmet on the right way. All right, guys, I want to show you something. And I know I'm beating you guys over the head with this, but I'm going to continue to say it because it's the only way we're going to get over the fear of dropping the motorcycle. As long as there's power going to the rear wheel, you're not going to drop the motorcycle. Sufficient power, okay? at speed, the motorcycle doesn't need you, all right? Or it needs very little input from you. It will move straight forward at speed by itself. Okay, watch this. Okay, I'm going to accelerate the motorcycle towards the camera, and I'm gonna shut the motorcycle off. And I'm just gonna let it coast. No power at all. Am I gonna fall? Let's see. I doubt it. Motorcycle's off. Motorcycle's off. No power. No power. No power. Now, you notice as I slowed down, you started seeing this. That's input for me. Still not 100%, but it's input for me. But it's inevitable at a certain point, I'm going to be going so slow that the motorcycle, if I don't put my feet down, which is still input for me, the motorcycle is going to fall. Okay? So I did that just to let you see that even with no power at all to the motorcycle, as long as I got a certain amount of speed, I'm fine. So as I said before, keep power to the rear wheel and you'll be fine. You have to trust and believe. Trust and believe.
Well, I can't tell you how much we appreciate you.
Thanks, man. Thank you. Thank you very much. But what the payback to me is watching you out here practicing, because that's really what this is all about, practicing. And for myself too. So I was up there at the 1, 2, exercise number 3, which is the right and the left turn. And as I was getting ready to make the right turn, I realized the last time I was doing it, and it's on this video, when I was about to make the right turn, as soon as I went to pick up my left foot, and then my right foot had to go down because I kind of lost my balance. And then I realized I'm really doing the same thing as before, where I tell you if you get too close, you have to kind of let the motorcycle fall first and catch it. It's the same thing there. So when my left foot is down, right before I'm going to make that right turn, preload, I have to purposely throw my weight to the right so that the bike is already moving in that direction. And that way I don't have to worry about falling. Because once I do that and give power to the rear wheel, I'm good anyway. And then I can make that turn. And you'll know when you're making that turn whether you can do it straight up or whether you have to give it a little lean. And if you have to give it a little lean, fine. So that's why with you, every time we went through, if I saw you put your foot down, we're going through again. Because clearly it's something that and even when you don't put it down, I see you're ready. Yeah, but that's what practice is for. That's what practice is for. So what time is it? It's 2:35, 14:35 hours. We're not leaving this parking lot. We, meaning me and Sam, until Sam makes this U-turn. Because I feel it. I know what's going to happen today. I know it. Come on, Sam. She's cool enough. I don't want you to get too cool. Let me move I don't have to move my motorcycle. You're not coming down here. You're working down there. Okay, good. I feel it, guys. It's happening today. He's going to make this U-turn. He moved it out to 27 feet himself, by the way. There we go. Turn it, turn it, turn it. Woo! I told you. He said, let's go home. That's what I'm talking about. I knew what was going to happen today. I knew it. Now, guys, I said this before and I'm going to say it again. Ladies and gentlemen, that's what we call progress. Sam's confidence was here. He's up here now. Not only that, Sam said he was a 1 when he got here. He's not a 1 now. I'm not going to give him a number. I'll let him give the number. But he's definitely not a 1. Because if you came in a 1 and you're doing stuff you weren't doing before you got here, you can't still be a 1, right? We're going to make sure it's not a fluke. Come on, man. Let's do it again. I want you to turn those handlebars. I want you to turn those handlebars. That was excellent. Oh, man. Let's go home is right. You want to do a mic drop. I get it.
Leave it right there. We're done.
If you could just give a little lean, but I don't even care about that. The fact that you made that U-turn, you weren't doing that last week, and you weren't doing that when you first got here, all right? So that's excellent. So even if you keep doing it that way, eventually you're going to get more and more comfortable. I don't have to tell you to lean. You're going to do it anyway. You'll see. Come on, let's make sure that wasn't a fluke. Even the broken clock is right twice a day. And once he gets comfortable with this, then we can work on the right turns. He's preloaded nicely. He's got plenty of power. He's not cheating himself at all. His head is turned. Much better. Much. Are you looking at that cone? Make sure you're looking at that cone. Much better. Oh man, he's like a new man. Okay, no problem. No problem. And I saw on that turn, you kind of cheated yourself. You didn't turn the way you did before. The last times you were all the way to the right. This time you kind of came to the left a little bit. But that's fine. Much better, man. Rick is nice and loose. See that sway? Swing to the left, swing to the right. Beautiful. Okay, remember these guys 3-cone allotment. Me picking up cones for them. They get 3 of them. They use those up real quick on exercise number 3. This is what it's all about, guys. Practice, practice, practice. I'm loving seeing this. I'm loving it. And you can see Rick is loose. Very good. You saw his foot? All right, let me see some right turns too. Let's work on the right too. Right turns. Right U-turns. Well, you can see we're all out here warming up. You have to warm up before you practice. Beautiful. 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 So the question is, when we came in, Rick was a 5. Is Rick still a 5? We'll let him give himself a number. Sometimes people are modest, so he might say he's still a 5, but he's not. Nice. Now remember, I told you guys, you can gain momentum going into the U-turn, and that's the approach that Rick uses, and he does it very smoothly. It looks very fluid. But you don't have to do it, okay? If it's gonna be an extra step for you, leave it out, okay? The purpose here is not to give you extra stuff to have to think about, okay? I want your mind to be free so that you can just concentrate on what you need to be doing. All right, guys. It is almost 3 o'clock. Sam said he's leaving at 1500 hours. So we're kind of winding down here. But then we had from a distance, I heard it, we had a boulevard show up. My boy, Kevin, we're gonna let him introduce himself. What's going on, man? You want to introduce yourself with the helmet or without? This ain't Kill Bill.
Hey, man. Bill's somehow.
If you guys don't know what the hell I'm talking about, you have to watch Kill Bill, the first one.
I watched Kill Bill, part 1 and 2.
Okay. All right, tell the people who you are.
Name is Kennard Kevin.
Okay, Kennard Kevin. Where are you from?
From Orangeburg, South Carolina, Bulldog Country. That's for those who don't know, South Carolina State Bulldogs.
Is that where you live now?
Originally now, I'm from Pooler, Georgia.
Oh, so this is convenient for you. You in the same location. Okay, very good. How long you been riding a motorcycle?
Well, if we're going to count the years prior, that would have been probably...
Okay, I thought these questions were easy. I'm going to have to simplify it a little bit. I thought that was easy. When I say how long have you been riding a motorcycle, that means forever, since you've been, living. All right, let's try it again. So, how long have you been riding a motorcycle?
30 years.
Oh, beautiful, 30 years. If you had to rate yourself on a scale of 1 to 10, 10 being the best, your slow speed motorcycle operating skills, what would you rate yourself?
2.
2, okay, very good. And again, that's fine, because if he's a 2, before he leaves here, he should be higher than a 2, okay? All right, Kev, so what we're gonna do out here today is, well, before that, talk to us about this motorcycle. What you riding here?
Well, I'm riding, the Boulevard M109R Boss.
All right, let's take a look at it. So how is it riding? How long have you had this motorcycle?
This motorcycle probably about a month.
Oh, so you just got it. All right, you've owned it for a month, correct?
That is correct.
How many times have you ridden it?
Probably 3 to 4 times.
Okay. All right, so that's important to know because he's brand new on this motorcycle too. Now, Kevin's been on this course before, and he did excellent the last time he was on this course. Now, we got some extra stuff out here now. I'm going to take him through all of the stuff that we have. All right? All right, guys, so Sam is going to be leaving now. You know what? I was about to say he had a good day, but I'll let him tell you. Okay, Sam, the real question is, how do you feel?
I feel great.
Do you still think you're a 1 in your slow speed motorcycle operation?
I'm a 1.5 now.
Okay.
Getting up there.
Exactly. And now I told you guys, I wasn't going to give him a number. I wanted him to give the number. But what I said is he's definitely not a 1 anymore. And I'm going to say, in my opinion, he's not a 1.5 either. 10 is a long way away. So there's no way he only went up 0.5. I saw a lot of improvement out here today. All right. So good job, Sam. All right. Ride safely. At least now I know. Remember last week I said, is Sam broken down? Why are his hazard lights on? Now I know it's a tip. Obviously, it's a tip thing with Harleys. You tip the motorcycle over, it puts the hazard lights on. But how do you turn them off?
Literally, you start the bike again.
Oh, okay.
Turn off.
Okay. Rick, you hanging out?
Yeah, man.
Okay. All right, Rick's hanging out. We're going to take Kevin over to exercise number 1. We have 7 exercises. I don't know about that figure 8 for you, Kevin. It's not as big as it was before.
Okay.
Okay? All right. I'm not trying to discourage you.
Don't worry about it. Discouragement has already set in. Long time ago.
All right, guys, let's get to it. All right, guys, we did this before. Now, he's on a different type of motorcycle, but the rules don't change. His motorcycle is harder to turn. I will say that because of that big tire in the back. Okay, so here's what you're doing. This exercise is going to help you practice starting your motorcycle by picking your feet up as soon as it's moving, stopping your motorcycle with only your left foot going down. Rear brake only, no front brake. Okay, that's what you're practicing here. So when you get to the first cone, you're bringing the motorcycle to a stop. Now again, if you're riding your motorcycle and you're at 40 miles per hour or whatever, yeah, at that point, when you first start braking, you're braking with the front brake. Once you get to 20 miles per hour, get off that front brake. Now you're in cone course world. You're stopping the motorcycle with the rear brake. Of course, you're downshifting down the first gear. Come to a stop. Make sure your weight's already shifted so that when you come to a stop, left foot down. When it's time to go, preload, let the clutch out. As soon as the motorcycle starts to move, foot comes up. Okay? Watch him do it. Bam, left foot down. As soon as the motorcycle starts to move, foot comes up. Now, you're also going to notice as time goes on when you're doing this, that a lot of people put their foot down too early because they still haven't gotten accustomed to stopping the motorcycle with their foot. You can tell people that aren't accustomed to it. So they start stopping too early and then their foot goes down and it goes like this. Eventually you'll get to the point where you're in the friction zone at that point anyway when you're coming to a stop. So it's the same as what you're doing in exercise number 2, where you're trying to go nice and slow. You're actually doing that same thing as you're coming to a stop. See how all these things tie together? Okay? So once you do that, once the motorcycle gets to a certain spot where you're ready to stop, press the brake all the way down, boom. Once you finish this, then you're going to go to exercise 2, which is going slow as you can, purposely trying to make you get to the point where you have to put your foot down. But instead of putting your foot down, let the clutch out, let it pick you up. Okay.
So 1, 2, then after that.
And then after that, stand by. But you got 2 of them, you're stopping here. Stopping right there and then the other cone. All right. Foot is on the brake. Nice and easy. Very good. And now he's going to take off. Perfect. All right, friction zone, friction zone. Now to be honest with you, right there, as I'm approaching, I'm not even in the friction zone. Remember the exercise I did earlier where I just had the motorcycle with the engine off, coast? That's what I just did right there. No friction zone necessary. I had enough speed, and remember the motorcycle is going to stay up by itself at speed. I had enough speed where I could just let the motorcycle coast, and then when I'm ready to stop, press the brake down and stop. So do I really need the friction zone here? No. As I accelerate from this stop, then I'm going to need the friction zone. Okay, so again, Kevin's motorcycle turns differently. This is going to be tight for him. So we're not even going to think about him going on the inside of the lane. He's going to go on the outside on every turn. Pull right here. Well, the first thing I want you to do is just go through without stopping. Make sure you stay on the outside to make a left turn and on the outside to make a right turn, because you're going to need it with this. Straight through, don't stop. Preload, preload. You're knocking down cones before you even get to the turn. All right, that's one. You get 3 times for me to pick it up. Get that throttle up. Your throttle's too low. Don't worry about it. You got to lean to go through it, but you can do it. There you go. Okay, so now that's going to help his confidence that he got through there on that turn. He's still not turning it as far as it can turn, but there is something I want to say to him. This motorcycle is loud, so I know when you don't have no throttle. You have to have throttle. Okay. Also, how much does this motorcycle weigh? Do you know?
707.
707 pounds.
707.
Okay. When you're making turns, all this stuff you're doing with your shoulder is a waste of energy. You're not doing nothing. It's 700 pounds. Just turn the motorcycle.
Just turn.
Yeah, just turn the motorcycle.
Okay.
If you feel like you're gonna fall, let the clutch out. All right? That's the only thing. But you gotta stay preloaded. All right? Keep power going to the rear wheel. All right, go ahead.
Not again.
Try it again.
I just barely made that last one.
It doesn't matter if you just barely made it. You made it. But listen to me. I told you before, my cones are young. They're impressionable. They're shy. They don't like being stared at. So don't stare at the cones. See that cone over there?
Yeah, that one.
The cones on the corner are the mature ones. You can stare at that. Wherever you look, that's where you're going to go.
Okay.
All right? Good. Keep that throttle up. There you go. Beautiful. He asked me, should he do it again? Question is, are you comfortable? This is why I said yes, do it again. Because even the broken clock is right twice a day. So we want you to be comfortable in what you're doing. We want you to be satisfied with it. By we, if you ever hear me say we, I'm talking about me. All right, that's 2. That's 2 times I'm picking up the cones for you. You got 1 more. Try it again. Now, you see what's going on here, right? He's letting the motorcycle coast through the turn. No throttle. It's a recipe to drop the motorcycle. All right, so we're going to talk to him because, again, that's something that a lot of people do. They're concentrating on that turn so much, they forget about the throttle. I can yell preload all day, and they will be preloaded, but then they don't let it out. I always say preload, and you might be preloaded, but as soon as you get to the turn, you let off the throttle. You're letting it idle through the turn. It shouldn't be idle. Hold the clutch down. That's what I should hear while you're turning. Steady. You're doing this. Steady. Because it doesn't matter how high it goes. It doesn't matter how high it goes. The clutch is what's giving the rear wheel power. You're still in control of the power. That's what I want to hear. All right, let's do it again. Good. And that was good. You see he's incorporating a lean where he needs it. Because it's not just about, hey, I made it. I want you to be comfortable. I want your confidence level to be up. All right, I like it. So now I'm going to ask him, are you comfortable? Are you confident? I really don't expect him to be this soon. But if he's ready to go to, if he's willing to say yes, let's move to the right turn. We'll move to the right turn. You're good. You're leaning the motorcycle like you need to make that turn, so it's good.
Yeah,
Are you comfortable? No, clearly you're not.
You said what? Comfortable? Hell no, I'm not comfortable yet.
And that's the whole point. I want you to be comfortable. So do it one more time. And then you can do the right turn if you want. And then after that, we'll move on because I want to take you through everything first. And then you can go back and work on what you think you need to work on, okay? Throttle! I don't want to hear it once you're going straight. I want to hear it in the turn. Do it again, that's right. Throttle through the turn, don't coast through it. Much better. Much better. All right, he said, let me do it one more time. That's what I like to hear. That's a sign that his confidence is going up. Nobody likes failure. So, but this is not failing. This is practicing. You're going to get better the more you do it. Throttle, throttle. All right, third time's the charm. We're going to let Mr. Kennard pick those cones up, and then we're going to move to the next exercise.
Held the clutch in.
Well, that didn't have anything to do with you holding the clutch in. You just got out of the turn. Because you made, if you clear this cone, but you hit that cone, all that means is you didn't have the wheel turned enough, or you didn't have it leaned enough.
When you say give it throttle, I give it, but then, hell, if I take off, I'm going to fly through it.
Well, no, you're not going to take off. That's the whole point. If you hear me yelling out throttle, throttle, that doesn't mean you're going to do a wheelie.
Brings the engine.
It means I don't hear any throttle. You're letting it idle. You have to keep the RPMs up so that if you need the power, it's already there. And you need the power in a turn. You don't need it going straight. So what you do is you'll have your rev up. And it's not just you, it's a lot of people. As soon as you get here, the thought goes out. The thought process of the throttle goes away. Now all you're concentrating on is this turn. And because of that, that's where people drop their bikes. So when I say throttle, throttle, that just means I don't hear it at all. Get it up, get the throttle up. Doesn't matter how high you get it, your clutch is going to determine how much power you get. Because as high as I hear your motorcycle revving, I don't see you jerking away because you're in control of that with the clutch, right? So, and then the next thing we're going to do is have you do this from a standstill. Because remember, everything's easier when you're moving. We want to make you the boss of this motorcycle. And in order to be the boss of this motorcycle, you have to be in 100% control at slow speeds, okay? And that includes coming from a stop. Put your front wheel right here and stop. But first I want you to do it again going through moving, because if you're having a problem moving, I'm not going to tell you, all right, now do it from a standstill, okay? Good, good. All right, so now we'll have him do it from a standstill. I mean, I was satisfied with that, but it doesn't matter about me. Let me ask him. You felt good about that?
Well, better.
Better, okay, that's all we want. We want you to feel better. You ready to do it from a standstill, or you want to do this a couple more times?
One more time.
Okay. Good. That's how I want it to sound the whole time. And most people would be concerned with hearing all of that throttle, but that's just him getting accustomed to staying in the throttle in the turn. As he practices more, he'll learn to come off that a little bit. He does have a sensitive throttle, I will say that.
Okay, you said throttle, so I try to give it throttle.
Well, but here's the whole point. I shouldn't have to say throttle. You should already be in the throttle.
It should already be there.
If you hear me saying throttle, that means you're not doing something that you should be doing, okay? Which is staying in the throttle.
Stay in the throttle.
This is not even a preload at this point. This is a load. I need you to keep it loaded. Don't worry about that, it's fine.
It's like I'm making it, then I don't make it. Did I make it?
That's why we practice. Don't worry about it. I don't make it every time either. Nobody does. That's why we practice.
We do it one more time, then we're going to try to stop.
How about this? Let's stop saying one more time. This is like when I play ping pong with him. All right, one more game. It's never one more game.
No, but keep doing it.
Never. Because unless your motorcycle breaks down or you run out of gas or you're just exhausted, why not keep going? That's what we're doing out here. We're practicing. You guys up north, it's snow on the ground, it's freezing. So we got to take advantage of this weather. Did you guys pick that up? Now he just said, I don't know how I made that. So we got to get that doubt out of Kevin's mind. Because if you're doubting yourself, you're messing with your mind already. But did you see what he did? The other times that he came down, he was over here. This time, because his balance was off, he was over here. And he still made the turn. What did he change? What did he have to change to make that turn? He leaned the motorcycle more. You see what you did, right? You lost your balance, so instead of you being to the right, you were kind of in the middle.
Yeah.
And you still made the turn. You know why?
Why?
You tell me.
I lean the motorcycle.
There you go. You saw that you needed to lean in order to make the turn. It doesn't matter. You saw that you needed to lean to make that turn, so you did it. That's the biggest thing here, is being able to identify what needs to be done and then implementing it. And that's what he did. Don't duck walk that bike out here. Just keep coming. All right, you're good. Because remember, I told you guys, it's one of two things. If you need to tighten up the radius of your turn, you either need to turn the handlebars further, or you need to lean the motorcycle more, or incorporate the two of them. That's the best. That's the ideal way to handle it. All right. Do you know what we're doing here?
Leaning. You gotta lean to make the turn.
Maybe, maybe not. We'll see. But what you're going to do is start with the handlebar turn. And you're doing the same thing you did over there, going slow. The only difference is you have the handlebar turn. That's all. If you need to lean it a little bit, fine. But as soon as you pick up your foot, your left foot, you're already preloaded. Already preloaded. As soon as you let the clutch out, pick up that foot, go. Don't worry about the cones. Look where you want to go. Okay, now he was fine. The first thing you're trying to do is make sure that you make this turn and you don't hit this cone. He was fine with that. But once he got into the turn, he stopped turning and he kind of went straight, and that's why he hit these cones. But for a first time doing it, that's good, especially since he's extremely nervous and he's already doubting himself. His confidence level is low. Now do you understand why I say a confident rider is a safer rider? Because as his confidence goes up, he's going to be safer. And if he's safer, we all are, because he's not going to run into me or you. He's not going to run into our motorcycles or whatever else. So it's fine. Listen, that was fine. This was the main thing you were worried about. All you did was you came out of the turn. How you had the handlebars turned, you have to keep them that way until it's time to straighten up. Okay? You came out too early. And it's always,
I thought I was fine.
it's always going to tell you that, because if you don't turn soon enough, you would be hitting these cones, not those. If you hit these cones, that just means you're not turned enough, because you're already in the turn. Let's do it again. And again, guys, there's a lot of things that I take into consideration here. He said he's been riding a motorcycle for 30 years, but he failed to say that there was a 20-year gap, or at least a 20-year gap of him riding a motorcycle. And then when he gets a motorcycle, it's this motorcycle with this big rear wheel, which is harder to turn. But it's not possible. Okay, and this is a balance thing. That's fine. As long as you're not duck walking, I'm good. Look where you want to go. Turn those handlebars, and how they're turned, that's how they stay until you're all the way through the turn. Preload. Reload. As soon as you feel that motorcycle moving, pick your foot up. There you go, pick it up, lean it. All right, start over. Start over, that's fine. Back up. That happens, not a problem. Because you're still working on finding the sweet spot. Once you find it and you feel the motorcycle start to move, pick your foot up, let it out a little more. Preload. Go. I see exactly what's happening. And I'm going to take blame for this, because I told him that the cones on the edge, you can stare at them because they're more mature, they don't mind. But he's obsessed at this point. Like he's staring at that cone, and that's why he keeps hitting it. He's hitting the one before it too, which means he's staring at both. But he's got his foot pegs are sticking out a lot too. So, okay, you know why you keep hitting that cone, right?
I'm coming out of the turn too fast.
And you're staring at it.
Did you tell me to stare at this?
Yes, and I told him I'm taking part of the blame at that because, but you're obsessed with it. At a certain point, stop looking at it. All right, how about this? You're looking at it when you're here, okay? Once you get into this turn, look straight ahead. See that tree? Look at that tree. That little tree right here. That's what I want you to look at. As soon as you get into this turn, look at that tree.
Okay.
Watch the difference. He's got enough throttle so that he's not dropping the motorcycle right here, which a lot of people do because, again, they're so focused on that turn that they forget about the throttle. Throttle is your friend. Much better approach. See how we're always working on stuff? You pulling up here is exercise number 1. Beautiful. Okay, let's do it. Remember, turn the handlebars. You're looking at that cone. As soon as you get in the turn, look at that tree. Reload. Ooh. Okay, so what happened there is he started to let the motorcycle lean before letting out the clutch. So he had power, but then he let the power go when he pulled the clutch in. Then he put his foot down. And that's when I was like, uh-oh. So that time you let the motorcycle lean without the power going to the rear wheel. And you felt it getting ready to fall, and then you had the pucker effect. You know what the pucker effect is? That's right. Your butthole tightens up. So, no problem. This is where we want to make mistakes so we can make the corrections. Okay, you want to do this out here, not on Pooler Parkway, not in the mall parking lot. We're going to do it in this parking lot. Okay?
Okay.
All right. I will say, if you wear a purple sweatsuit to motorcycle practice, you're already going to fail at something. All right, so winding down, it is now 15:32 hours. Rick is going to be heading out. Remember, Rick is here from Virginia. All right, he didn't ride his motorcycle from Virginia. He put it in a trailer. However, he's been out here since 12 o'clock. So he's going to go pick up his wife. They're going to go out and get something to eat. So we're going to talk to Rick. Okay, Rick, I'm going to say right now, you had a very good day as far as I saw. What do you think?
Felt good. Little hiccups here and there. Mostly it's a little bit of rust, I think. And you never have too much practice.
Exactly. Practice, practice, practice. Okay, when we first came out here, you rated yourself at a 5.
5.
What do you think you are now?
7, 8.
Okay, 7, 8. So listen, this is what it's all about, guys. Come in, you should be leaving better than what you came in. Now that's a big jump for him. Everybody's not going to be like Rick. But from what I saw, he was already doing very well to begin with. And once you get warmed up, boom, that's what it's all about. All right, man. Thanks for coming out. Appreciate it. Hopefully that's not the last time we see you. And
I think we'll be back sometime. Don't know when.
okay.
8, 9 hours away. But it's a good time.
Good. And that's a good ride too. And this is a good ride.
Appreciate it.
All right, brother. Definitely nice to meet you.
I just told him I'll get the truck later.
All right, we got Purple Rain over here. And look at that. Rick is leaving, but this is how it should be. If you see cones in front of you, you should feel like I have to ride through those cones. That's a practice opportunity, and he's taking it. Good for him. You guys are also going to notice that Kevin here with the purple sweatsuit, he's going to get it a little bit more than other people because I know Kevin. He lives in my subdivision. He's a good friend of mine, and he's also on the he serves on the board with me as well, the homeowners association. So he's going to get a little bit more. I'm going to cut him up a little bit more. But again, all done out of fun, keeping it light, all right, so that he can concentrate easier, not worry too much about what's going on. All right, turn it off. 10 push-ups. I mean, guys, right in front of me, he grabs the front brake. Right in front of me. Now, I don't mean like right in front of me like he's over there, like right next to me. Boom. And remember what I told you guys. If you grab the front brake on a cone course, It's so obvious. It's so obvious for a number of different reasons. Heap, come on. Heap, 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 heap.
How many?
10, that's it. Good job. And the knee didn't touch the ground. That's always good. That's always good. All right, but this is how we learn. It's habits that we have to break. We're fighting two things out here. Well, really, it's more than two things. We're fighting habits, bad habits. We're fighting instinct, and we're fighting doubt. That's where we're talking about our confidence. So that's a steep hill to get over, but we're going to get over it.
See, that one finger. See, I used to have two. I went to one.
You want me to show you one finger?
Oh my God. Can't have it.
All right, we're working on it.
Going out.
Get it out of there.
You know, I might need to put them together.
I'm going to tape your hand to the throttle so you can't open your hand.
But see, I don't open the whole hand.
You don't need to. I'm going to tape all your fingers down. Okay, just in case you guys didn't know, Kevin just set the record for the longest preload in Robert Simmons paying it forward history. That was a preload. Good, good, good. Okay, so now right there, that's an example of me saying the faster you go, the better you're going to feel. He felt like he was going to lose it, and he let the clutch out and throttled through it. So in this instance, I don't care that he went faster. All I care about is that he did not put his foot down, because that's the first thing we're dealing with, is fighting that instinct to put your foot down. Throttle, throttle, keep that throttle up. Now I'm not used to his motorcycle, but I'm gonna ask him if I can try it, because it's a totally different feeling. I know it is. Like I said, his throttle's sensitive, so it's probably a little tougher for him to stay in the throttle, but you know, let me try it.
I think it's just me.
You think it's just you?
Yeah. Because I'm doing it, then I'm not doing it. I'm doing it.
So Kevin says he thinks it's just him. He's got a little indicator on here too that shows him where his revs are. So he can tell when, but I don't want him staring at that, so I'm not even gonna bring that up to him. See, and that's the thing, his motorcycle wants to go. When he throttles it, it wants to go. The other thing is when he turns his handlebars like this, he's a shorter guy. So he's kind of like, leaned all the way up. I'm gonna tell him to scoot up on the seat. See if that helps him. Preload. All right, I gotta find his sweet spot. There it is, preload. Just gotta use the rear brake. You gotta use the rear brake. And as I'm trying to turn it, it's fighting me. It definitely fights you. But remember I told you, when I'm coming to a stop right there, I'm not in the friction zone. I'm letting the motorcycle just coast into the stop. Turn the handlebars. So you can see here, I'm not using a lot of throttle. I don't have to lean the motorcycle a lot either. If you look at it, I'm doing it just like I did on the Harley. I'm pretty much straight up. As soon as I feel power, I let the clutch out, pick up the foot. I'm straight up. Straight up. So I have to tell Kevin, he said, I think it's just me. That's affirmative. So, all I'm going to tell you is, you don't have to lean the motorcycle through this turn, as I just showed you. Just like you didn't have to lean it to keep it straight up over there. You're doing the same thing as over there, but all you're doing is making a turn. Forget about the cones. Just think about that, all right? You're absolutely right. And when I first got on the bike, I said the bike is showing you that it wants to go.
Yeah.
You ever see somebody walking their dog down the street and the dog is pulling them? That dog is showing them, I'm the boss. Then you see the person walking the dog and the dog is next to them. That person is the boss of that dog. You need to be the boss of this. It wants to go, but you're going to say, you go when I say that you go.
This bastard here.
So when I first felt that throttle and it went like this, I said, okay, I know where the sweet spot is on the clutch. Because if you don't know where the sweet spot is on the clutch and you throttle it, that's when you do that. But if I have it where I'm not really letting that power pass to the rear wheel, I can rev all day and I'm good. But I need to find where it is and then stay right. Don't deviate too far from it. Because that way when you need it, it's right there. You don't want to have to make your hand do this. You know, you want to have it, everything, all these movements are slight, right? Once you got all of that down packed and you got the throttle down packed, the throttle's not even that important anymore. I see you have a little meter right here that shows you where your RPMs are, but I don't want you looking at that anyway. Because with your motorcycle, it doesn't matter. You can hear it. If you don't hear it, you don't have enough power. All of that said, that rear brake then comes in. Because it wants to be so aggressive, if you feel it move too aggressive, smash that rear brake down. All right, you'd be surprised. Sometimes smashing the rear brake will help you more than just feathering it. It all depends on the situation. I like it.
Kept it up. It didn't want to go down.
You kept it up, it didn't want to go down. Inappropriate torque for the cone course. Okay, so that was better. Now he did lean the motorcycle. He didn't need to, and I don't care. The important thing is he made that. But what's really important is he was going a little too fast. He slowed down, made an adjustment, and went straight through. That, ladies and gentlemen, is progress. And you stare at it. All right, you guys almost, I know he had the pucker effect there. You almost witnessed your first motorcycle accident out here. Okay, I admire your zeal.
That was fear.
I know it was. I'm not talking about I'm not admiring zeal because you almost killed yourself.
Yeah.
What I'm talking about is you have to crawl before you can walk. I simply said, go down this single serp and come back. You doing U-turns and then you coming down the 15-foot side.
Oh, I didn't know. I thought it was the same thing.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so again, this is another failure to communicate. I clearly said to him, I'm glad it's recorded so we can play it back. I clearly said, go down here. I said, these are 20 feet apart and then come back this side. And when you first got here, I said, this side's 15, this side's 20. I said, I want you to stay over here.
Now, what threw me off here, because I normally go and turn around, it's so long and I'm used to the short one. I'm like, so it threw me off.
That's what she said.
Huh?
That's what she said. Okay, so anyway.
If you pick that up,
Okay. Now, I told you guys when he first got here, the burgundy sweatsuit was something wasn't going to go right, and it almost happened. So that was interesting.
Did you get that on tape?
You know when somebody's showing their age when they ask you if you got something on tape.
You did.
Well, nobody did because nobody uses tape anymore. Okay. You're doing the single serp going up. These cones are 20 feet apart. And then you're coming back on those same ones. Now, here's the other thing I want to say to you. I'm not going to tell you not to do something. If you want to do it, I want you to do it because that means you're feeling confident. Or at least you want to challenge yourself, which I encourage. And you decided to make a right U-turn. But the whole time you're in that U-turn, zero throttle. Like, you can't coast through the turns. You have to keep power to that rear wheel.
Remember, that's my right. I'm not used to that side. I usually do it on this side.
What does that have to do with what I'm saying? Nothing. Keep power to the rear wheel. That's it. And again, the motorcycle's so loud, I don't even have to be close. I know when you're not throttling that rear wheel. Okay? Throttle, throttle, throttle. Keep it in there. Preload it and keep it loaded. So I can't just say preload to Kevin. I have to say preload and keep it loaded. All right? Because he's preloading, but then he lets it out. So he's leaning nicely. You see that? Leaning nicely. He's going for the U-turn again. Better. See how we can hear his engine from here? That's what I'm talking about. I want to be able to hear your engine. Beautiful. Beautiful.
Different from this one and the one you had over there, figure 8.
It's smaller.
This one is?
Yeah, the figure eight I had over there was 10 parking spaces. This is 6. So again, like I said, if you don't want to do it, we can just switch to the next exercise.
No, we got to see where we're at.
Okay, we're in South Georgia. But I always appreciate the fact that you want to at least try. And it's not, he's just got to throttle it. He's got to lean the motorcycle. So good, 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 good. Good, good, good. Beautiful. 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 Makes this last turn. Throttle, throttle. He's looking at the cone. Okay, I was going to say outstanding. It's actually hard for me not to say outstanding. So I'm going to say that was beautiful. The only reason I'm not going to say it's outstanding is because you're not looking over your shoulder. As a matter of fact, when you were making this turn, these 3 cones right here, 1, 2, 3, those 3 cones are scarred for life because you were staring them down like crazy. I mean, you're looking right at them to make sure you don't hit them, when all you have to know is if you look over your left shoulder to where you want to go, you're not going to hit them. Don't worry about it. And even if you do hit them, I don't want you thinking about them. Just look over your shoulder. You're leaning the motorcycle beautifully. I had doubts about you even doing this. You did it beautifully on the first try. You want to do it again? This time looking over your shoulder? Or you want to move on to the next exercise?
Let's go while we're going good.
Go where?
We need to practice. Let's go on the next one.
Okay, we'll go to the next one. I will tell you, if you can do the figure 8, everything else on this cone course is easy. What's going on, buddy? So we're going to have to start from scratch with Wood Jr.
What's up, man?
What's going on? Wood Jr. always in neutral.
What's up, man?
What's up, man?
You still out here, man?
Still out here, man. We're doing it.
Oh, my God. What's up, Kevin?
You, man.
What's up, man? Got a full house today?
No, we only had 2 people, 3.
I came at the end. And
Man,
I
that
was going
cold, man.
No, it was nice out here.
Well, I mean, yeah, because see, man, I had some properties, dude, and I was like, ah. Oh, I remember this.
Everything's harder with his motorcycle. But he's doing well. He's doing very well. He did that figure 8. I was very impressed by that. What? Yeah. There you go, Kevin. Beautiful.
Look at Cal. He wasn't even here last week.
That's right. We didn't do this last week. I just added this today.
He probably got this in his backyard. Oh, my God.
Him and I spent the majority of our time on the right turns, left turns. Right. So what we're going to do is, I'm going to take you through everything right behind me.
Okay.
Nice and easy.
Okay, that'll work. That'll work.
There you go.
Look at this.
There you go. Turn your head. Turn your head. Good. Turn your head. You know why that happened?
I thought I was in.
That happened because you're not turning your head.
Oh,
You got to turn your head.
okay.
All right? But listen.
Wow.
But that was excellent, man.
Because I almost didn't make one. You saw that.
Excellent. Forget about the cones. Matter of fact, I'm going to stand right here. Look at me.
Oh, be careful, man. Oh, God. Okay. You already positioned my handlebars, right?
You could, yeah. Pick that foot up. Throttle and pick up the foot. Pick it up. Throttle, throttle. Let's do it again. Let's do it again, man. You're going to have to get your confidence up so that you can trust and believe that as soon as you have power going to the rear wheel, you can pick up that foot.
Okay.
Turn the handlebars. Keep them turned. Keep the throttle open. Okay? Turn your head and look over here. Throttle, 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 throttle. Let's do it again. And we're going to do it again because when you're turning, this foot is like this. No, I'm sorry, it's this. You're dying to put that foot down. It's like, trust and believe. Trust and believe. The bike is heavy. Your foot is not going to help much. If you feel like you're going to fall, just open the clutch. I don't care if you hit the cones. All right? All right. Preload, preload. Remember when we were doing exercise number 2, where you're just going straight? Your motorcycle straight up. It's the same thing here. Just turn the handlebars. As long as you got power going to the rear, straight up. Preload and keep it up. Throttle, throttle, turn the wheel, turn the wheel. There we go.
It's like my foot is like the second kickstand. Okay.
Because we're fighting instincts, it's okay. But we're going to replace instinct with skill.
I need to go back to Harley and have them to put my original bars back on. All right, man.
No, you don't. You're good. Throttle, throttle, throttle. See? I heard it. I heard it. The throttle is too low, man. Put your ass lower on the seat. It makes it easier.
Man, I'm going to make this a practice bike.
The Forever bike is a practice bike now?
Oh, man.
I got news for you, man. I don't care what bike you get. It's a practice bike. Because we're always practicing.
Oh, my gosh. But see, I feel like if I would have hit that throttle, like, really, really hard, it would have just been like, you know?
Well, guess why that would never happen?
Why?
Because you control how much power goes to the rear wheel based on how much you open up the clutch. So it doesn't matter how high you rev the motorcycle, you're still in control of the power because the clutch controls the power that's allowed to go to the rear wheel.
Okay.
The only way this motorcycle is ever going to fall is if you don't have power going to the rear wheel. Right here. Okay. It's all the way into that side too. I want you to feel that the enclosure of the U-turn. All right?
Is it more parking spaces or less?
It's more.
Okay.
Because it's deeper. It's not more width-wise, it's more length-wise.
Oh, gotcha.
Okay. Reload before every movement. Let's put a little bit more foot on that rear brake too. You got the tip. There we go.
Okay.
There we go. Preload. Stay loaded. Well, he just passed the first cone. But he's going out a lot wider now, which is good. That U-turn is much better. Much better. No, no. I gave you a thumbs up. That U-turn is much better.
Okay.
Good. He starts out wide. That's nice. Very good. Very good. Smooth. Let's see if he turns his head. No, he's not turning his head. Beautiful. Next time you come through here on the U-turn, turn your head. I want you to look at that cone when you're making the right turn. Look at that cone over here, the green one, when you're making the left turn. And when you're doing the single serp, which, man, I got to tell you, man, when this comes out, I want you to look at the first time you did it versus now. Oh my gosh, way better. Now you're swinging and you're swaying, and that's beautiful. You're starting out wide. Beautiful. But when you're doing these serps, I want your head straight ahead. So look at that cone from all the way down there. All right, look at the last cone.
Oh,
and
so
just,
I'm doing a serp, look
yep,
at the last cone?
just keep your eye on it all the way down there, and then your peripheral vision will pick up the other ones. So don't worry about that. Straight ahead.
Speaking from a student, man, it's I guess, lack of better words, it's easier said than done. And
Oh, I know.
In a way of, we're so focused on wanting to, like, you know, when we're riding our motorcycles, the whole goal is to always look ahead.
Exactly.
You know, kind of, you know, prejudge things. But the cones, it's like each of them cones you're so focused on, because it's a mental thing. You like, don't want to hit this cone, that cone. and to focus on the last cone.
Absolutely.
It's like you just bowl all the rest of the cones to focus on.
Like I said, we're fighting instinct. The instinct is to look at each cone. I don't want to hit it. And I'm here to tell you, I don't care if you hit it. Don't worry about it. Just keep your head straight. Your peripheral vision will keep it up. All right? Just like you don't stare at the lanes when you're driving. Yeah. Your peripheral vision sees where they are. Same concept. So just try it out. You'll see. Keep your head straight up. Try to focus right on that cone, and you'll be fine.
So go back through the gate?
Yeah, but go back through this the other way. All right? And then come back. And as you go back through it, I want you to look at the last cone the whole time. Look at the last cone the whole time. If you hit a cone, don't worry about it.
Well, okay.
This is why we practice, man. Reload and keep it loaded. So I'm looking at his head. His head looks like it's straight ahead. He could be dipping his eyes down, I don't know, but from this vantage point, and he's going back into the turn. Good. I like that. And he did it without even, beautiful, beautiful. He did it like it was nothing. This is why we practice. And again, he's got to warm up. He just got here. Nice. Straight ahead, beautiful. There we go, turn your head. Good, 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 good. Oh, you're doing the 15 feet now. You hit a throttle up, good. Beautiful. All right, beautiful. All right, he's going back to the 15 feet. He's feeling it now. You guys might say, what does he have to warm up for? He rode all the way here from Savannah. Oh, no, no. He's looking at the cones. Yeah, you might think, what does he have to warm up? He rode here from Savannah. Different kind of riding. Throttle, throttle! Oh, man, he's really getting cocky now, calling out Wallace. All right, we're going to move on to the figure eight. I'm pretty sure Wallace did the figure eight, but actually, Wallace did it when I had this at 10 parking spaces.
10?
Yeah, when I had it over there, it was 10. This is only 6, and I actually made it 6 feet longer.
I'm calling you out, Wallace. Where you at, Wallace?
Well, don't call him out yet. Let's let you do it.
Hold on, Wallace.
I want you to actually do it first. Look over your shoulder, all the way over your shoulder. 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 Don't cheat yourself. Come all the way to the line. Now I'm going to lock the handlebars all the way. That's a full lock. Full lock. So you can see I'm doing it in 4 parking spaces. So he's got a whole nother 2.5 parking spaces to do this. But if I want to use all of the space, I'll use all of the space. It's just bigger circles, that's all. You don't have to lean as much if you use all the space. But you can see I'm always crossing in the middle at the same spot. As soon as I get right here, squeeze the clutch in. Easier to turn. Right here, squeeze the clutch in. It's just quick, momentarily. And then you exit right here.
Challenge, man.
Yeah, it's a challenge. But I did it in 4 parking spaces, and then I also did it in the 6. So that way you can see you have plenty of room. Use all of the space you need. You can always tighten it up later.
Woo. How did Kevin do?
You saw, Kevin did it.
Oh.
And Kevin did it on a motorcycle that doesn't turn half as good as yours.
Oh.
Just to give you some motivation.
But Kevin leans too, though.
Well, you're gonna lean too. Look over here, look over here. Start over, start over.
See, I got
Now you rip,
the throttle up, but it's like it just didn't match my turn.
and you ripped yourself off too. When you made this turn, you made this turn about right here instead of being over here. Use all the room that you need. And here's what else I'm going to tell you. If you feel like you're going to fall, forget about the cones. I don't care if you run over the cones. I just don't want you to put your foot down, because that's the first thing we're dealing with. We're trying to get over that instinct of putting your foot down. I want you to go, oh shoot, and then let the clutch out.
Gotcha.
And if letting the clutch out means you go straight through these cones, that's fine. They don't mind being hit. They just don't want to be stared at. Okay? All right, let's try it again. Turn your head all the way. Good. Look over there. All the way over there. Throttle, throttle, throttle. Better, better. Throttle, throttle, throttle. Good, good. Turn your head. All the way over your shoulder. Good, good. Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. Much better. It's already happening. Already coming together. I believe you could do it.
Preload, first gate, baby.
Now he went straight towards that cone. I told him you can't go straight towards it because then everything is tight. See how tight it is now? It's extremely tight. Can he still make it? Yes, but now he's coming at the cones at a 90-degree angle. When he should be coming at it straight, he's coming from the side of it. But guess what? He's working it out. He hasn't put his foot down. Ah, beautiful. Now remember, we have all of this widened out to make it a little simpler, so it enables you to be able to do it even if you come in straight. Okay, he's going to come back the other way, and then we'll talk to him about it. Throttle, throttle, throttle. See, he put his foot down because the throttle's too low. Got to keep that throttle up. Preload and keep it loaded. I'm going to have to amend preload. See? No way. We're going to talk about it though. So what you did wrong right from the giddy up, if you did what I told you not to do, you went straight for those cones. So if you go straight for them, and you made them too, you did an excellent job with that. But if you go straight for these cones, this turn is a lot sharper. And then you go straight for these cones. When what I want you to do is as soon as you come through this gate, go here. Because you shouldn't be approaching these cones on the side of them. That's how you're approaching them. So now you're making like a U-turn, which is fabulous, but you should be going straight through them, like this. So if you make this turn and then you come out wide, I want you to look at the edge of this parking spot when you come out of there. You look at that. Now, when you make this turn, you're going straight through. You're not coming at it. You're not coming from the side. All right, try that. Should be a lot easier that way to make these turns.
Preload like Kevin. Preload, preload.
Preload and keep it loaded. Okay, it's better. Come all the way out. Well, I don't know what he was looking at right there. Beautiful. Beautiful. And again, at this width and of the cones, this is practice, practice, practice. Get that confidence level up. That's the key. Get that confidence level up. Very good. Hear how you hear his throttle the whole time? Nice. We got to get Wood Jr. to lean a little bit more. That's right. Turn your head. Good. You're good. You're good.
Yeah, see, I should be leaving out of it at an angle. I should be coming in and out straight up.
Exactly. And, you know, that's much better than the first time. You're going to get better and better. We got to lean more because also realize everything is spread out. Usually those cones are close, you know, closer together. Yeah. But again, this is not a competition. This is about practice, practice, practice. So that's good. All right. So what we're going to do now is some follow the leader.
Okay.
All right.
Woo!
All right. So we're going to do some follow the leader. I'm going to suspend the recording for now. Peace. All right, guys, it's 17:23 hours. For those of you that don't know military time, that's 5:23. We're losing daylight out here. But let me tell you something. It's a shame that I don't record when we just do follow the leader. Because for some reason, that's when everybody that was kind of lagging, they just shine. Everything gets better. Wood Jr. and I were doing circles in the U-turn. He's never done that. Never. And he did it like it was nothing. All right, so everybody's getting better. All right, everybody's getting better, and I'm thrilled. So Wood is over there picking up cones now. Kevin's getting ready to go help him. The cart's over there. Yeah. So what I want to say to you guys today, this was we're blessed to have good weather down here, and we're going to take advantage of that by practicing. All right. It's beneficial, of course, when you have less people here because then you have more time to do what you need to do. But whether we have 20 people here or 3 people here or just me, there's going to be some practicing going on in this parking lot. Guys, also remember, if you like this video, subscribe, like, and share. Sharing is very important because we need as many motorcyclists out there as possible to know about this so that they can practice at slow speed motorcycle operation. It's the most important one that we need to know. Okay? There's also an email address on the upper right-hand corner of the screen. Okay? If you guys are interested in coming out here and practicing and you want to get on the email group list to know when I'm coming out to practice, send me an email and just put in the email, add me to the list, okay? Put your name too, okay? I don't want you guys to just send me add to the list. I don't know who you are because everybody doesn't use their real name as their name on YouTube, okay? So do me that favor. Also, if you want to send me a picture of you practicing, okay? I'll take those pictures too. I'm going to feature one of those pictures on each video. Yeah. All right, Mr. Wood.
Yes, sir.
Can you explain to the people, what is it that comes alive in you when we do follow the leader? You were doing stuff I never saw you. I've never seen you do a full circle.
I really don't. You know, some would say physics would have something to do with it. But I really don't know. I was just explaining it. I don't know. I was telling the people here there's 3. I mean, in my mind anyway, there's 3 types of practices, if you will. There's 3 types of trainings. The one training is where, you know, the coach tells you what to do. The second training is where the coach shows you what to do. And the third training is where you're doing what the coach is actually doing. So, okay. I don't know. I think I come alive more when I'm actually doing what the coach is doing. So,
okay, good, good.
I guess, man.
And Kevin.
Yes.
Now, I already revealed it, but you told people you've been riding a motorcycle for 30 years. But you failed to mention the gap. How long was the gap of you not riding?
Probably 25, 26.
Exactly. So as far as I'm concerned, he said, I've been riding motorcycles for 30 years. I'm a guy that's all about details and words mean everything to me. So when you're talking to me, the words got to make sense. So I want you guys to know, really, that's a 4-year rider, right? And on top of that, he just got this motorcycle and he's only ridden it 3 or 4 times and not slow riding. So he did excellent out here today. Excellent, Kevin. I mean, excellent.
Jesus
excellent.
is on my side.
Always. All right? He did so well. He did so well. We're going to excuse the purple sweatsuit. All right?
You got a point. You got a sweatsuit on?
He's all right. He said I thought it was burgundy.
Oh.
Does that make it any better? I don't know.
I don't know, baby. You gotta be debonair coming out here.
All right. That's going to do it for us here today. This is practice session number 4. And remember, guys, this is practice. All right. This is not a class. All right. So when you come down here, there's no fee to practice. There's a fee to go to a class. We're just practicing. All right, guys. As always, spend more time being thankful for the things that you have and less time complaining about the things that you don't. All my brothers and sisters in blue, guys, please be careful out there. Much love for all of you. And everybody on 2 wheels, be careful. Do not get complacent on the motorcycle, okay? And guys, practice, practice, practice. Because the purpose of this practice is to get your confidence level up. And a confident rider is a safer rider. Until next time.